So, Alex, give me a scale of the size of the American gun-making industry.
It's a big industry. We think it accounts for about $6 billion of revenue a year. It employs directly and indirectly about 250,000 people. We're not just talking about people who buy guns for hunt and recreation and for sport, but also there's all the police forces. There's the US military, which is huge. The US Army has just awarded a nearly more than $500 million contract to replace all its pistols. So it's a big business.
And roughly what proportion of the US population actually own and buy guns?
Well, interestingly, we don't really know how many guns there are in America. It's thought there's about 300 million, the same number of people in America. The proportion owning guns has gone down, but we think that people own more guns. There's a sort of emergence of a collector class of gun owners, people who want to get the latest accessories, the latest versions of everything, just like people want to get the latest iPhone. There are gun nuts who want the latest gadget.
Enthusiasts, Alex.
Enthusiasts, yes.
But I mean, the most interesting statistic, though, is that the number of women gun owners is on the rise.
It is. Well, I mean, as you've said, gun sales swing wild. It's a very cyclical business. And to sort of try and iron out some of those swings, what the gun companies have done is they've built up the whole accessory market, and they've tried to find new markets, and women being one of them. They've been very successful. Gun ownership was about 15% amongst women in 2010. It's about 20% now. And to encourage more women to own guns and to shoot, a lot of clubs have been formed. There are special training courses for women. I rang up to inquire about one when I lived in the States. Not that I wanted to have a gun, but I was curious as to the training they offered. And one group down in Texas offered a course where they taught you how to go by your ordinary life. So they gave you like a cannonball or something to hold while you opened your car. That was to substitute for your baby. And then they showed you how to hold your shopping, your baby, open the car boot and pull out your gun at the same time.
No, and this is so to put it out of your handbag, presumably, or
absolutely. And you can get, guns for women. You can get them in pretty colours as well to match your pink and red handbag.
So why was Barack Obama such a good salesman for the gun industry? Was it just because everyone was convinced he was going to outlaw them at some moments or restrict sales?
That's entirely what it's about. It's that people fear that gun controls are going to be introduced, so they kind of stockpile in advance of any protections. And, the interesting thing is we have these horrible events like we just saw in Las Vegas, and it sparks a lively debate in America. And sometimes they tinker with the gun laws around the edge, and certain states will introduce little restrictions, and it looks likely that silencers will be much harder to buy, and they won't relax the rules on selling silencers. But no big restrictions ever come in.
And in a word, Alex, do you see that changing so long as Donald Trump remains president?
I don't see it changing regardless of who's president.
Goodness. All right, Alex Frean from The Times. Appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure.